In our previous class, we had seen how to make use of cross joins and fetch the details from both the tables. Now suppose if you want to fetch the details from both the records based on some criteria, like here if you see these toy details like the toy ID, toy name, toy color, these are for the toys table, and brick ID, brick color, brick shape are from the bricks table. Now suppose if you want to fetch the details from the bricks table and the toy name only if there is a reference, like here if you see the toy ID over here will refer to the brick ID over here, something like that, or the toy color should match with the brick color. Then only we have to fetch the details. Like here both the details are blue, then we need to fetch those details, else we don't want to fetch the details. Now suppose if this is your requirement, then you can make use of the concept called as inner joins. So we will learn about inner joins in this class. I am here in the W3 documentation page. SQL inner join, this keyword is used in order to select the records that have matching values in both the tables. In the case of cross join, suppose table 1 had 3 records and table 2 had 3 records, then it used to return 3 into 3, that is 9 records in total. It will multiply based on the number of records in either of the table. Now suppose we don't want to fetch all the records, but we are interested in only getting the records whose values match, like based on some column name or the value. Now the syntax what we can use is, so by default inner join is the join which it will use. Even if we don't mention here inner, it will consider it as a inner join only in ANSI syntax. So we will look at the Oracle syntax as well, how we can write inner join in Oracle's method. So writing inner is optional. So the syntax will be select column names from the table, then we have to mention the inner join, or else we can just mention join only. Then the second table, like following tables we can mention inner join, we can have to n number of tables. Then here we need to mention on clause, then we have to mention based on what column we are checking and fetching the details. Here for example, we are having couple of tables. One is to store the order details, another is the customer. Now if you observe, both the tables are linked with this customer ID. So here the customer ID is 2, it has to fetch the details from this table by looking at this customer ID value, that is 2, it has to fetch this row. Now this we can achieve by writing the syntax something like select followed by the column names from keyword orders, then the inner join on what table. We have to write over here the customers table, that is second table. On, as I told, customer ID was our reference, so we have to write orders.customer ID and customers.customer ID like this. We have to mention the table dot column name and the table dot column name. We will get the details only for the matching records. Now we'll have a hands-on on inner join in the live SQL server. I am here in the document which I have created in order to explain the concept. So we'll try to explain the concept on the prerequisite SQL tables which we have created and the data what we had inserted. Now what we are going to do is we can join the toys and bricks table where the toy ID equals the brick ID. Only the IDs 2 and 3 are in both the tables. That is in this case, as I told, the 2 toy ID is equal to brick ID over here. Now we don't have any brick ID with number as 1. So this we shouldn't get in the response or in the results, that is miss nuggles. Only 3 is in bricks table as well as in the toys table, 2 is in bricks table as well as in the toys table. Now what we have to do is we have to write syntax something like this, that is select star from toys. So this is the Oracle's method as we are writing 2 tables back to back separated by the comma. Now here where condition, then we were writing the column names. Since these column names are unique in both the tables, so we are writing like this. Else what we can do is we can make use of the alias that I will explain later. Let me copy this from here and paste it. Now let me run. Now we have to get the results only for 2 toys, that is toy ID 2 and toy ID 3, because brick ID is equal to toy ID in our case. So we don't have any brick ID with number 1, so we are not getting the result for first toy. Now as I told, if this were not unique, like if we had toy ID in both the tables, like toy ID in toy name and brick ID, instead of brick ID we had toy ID, then in that case what we have to do is we have to make use of alias. Alias means we have to mention some name, random name like this. It should be unique, like toys I am saying it is A and bricks I am saying B, then we can refer with the alias like A.toys ID and B.toy ID. In this case we don't have toy ID, it's brick ID only. If we run this, we have to get the similar results. So as you can see, we are getting the similar results. So it will avoid the conflict if we are having similar column names in both the tables. Now if we look at the ANSYS method, this we had seen in the W3 school syntax, that is select star from first table inner join. So this writing inner join is optional. Even if you don't write inner, it is considered as inner join only. Then the second name and then the on clause and the columns on which we are matching. Let me just copy paste here and run. So we are getting the similar results. Even here we can make use the alias, like toys is considered as A and bricks we are considering as a B, and then we are referring A dot toy ID and B dot bricks ID. So this is applicable if we are having a similar column names in both the tables, and it will avoid the conflict. Now if I run this, we should get similar results. So this is what about the inner join. So inner join can return any number of rows from 0 to Cartesian product of the two tables based on the matching criteria. Now if you try to join on a column that has repeated values, you will get many copies of the matching rows in the join table. For example, there are two blue bricks. That is, there is a first toy with the color blue. So joining the tables on color returns two copies of the row for this toy. Now that is, select star from toys is join. Here we didn't write inner join because writing join means by default it's inner join only. Toys and bricks we are joining on inner join clause. That is, toy color is equal to brick color. Now if we run this, we are getting couple of toy results here because we are matching on the colors. So toy color is equal to brick color. Now in this case there are couple of brick colors which matches with the toy name. So it is retrieving couple of times the same thing. Now if we had matched based on some other thing like the toy ID, or if we had some other column over here like the shape, then it would have returned based on the shape uniquely. So like this, based on the matching criteria, it will return the number of records for you. As I told, writing the inner is optional. By default in ANSI standards, join is considered as inner itself. Also, you can make use of the negation, that is inequalities, and match the records. Here in this case, we are selecting all the records from the toys table and the bricks table where the color doesn't match. Now let me just copy this. So if you have observed, there are no pink bricks. So this will return the copy of pink bricks for Miss Nuggles for each row in the bricks. Now if we run this, now if you look at the results, we have the condition that is toy color shouldn't match in both the table. Now in the first case, in Miss Nuggles, the color is pink, but in the bricks table, we don't have any details for the pink color. So it is returning 3 records for you. So this is true. In the case of this second toy, that is this one, here the color is blue. So it will match again 2 records over here. So we will return the record only for one, that is for this second one, that is for the green cube. Now in the result, if you see, we are having this record, that is for green cube. Now in the case of third one, that is its color is green, so it should match against this one and it shouldn't retrieve the details. So we are getting the details for these two. So we should get 2 records for baby turtle. We can also make use of inner join clause or any join clause in order to fetch the results from more than 2 tables as well.